we are live. So, welcome to episode 311.
How many?
311.
And how many of us just been the two of us?
Welcome to 311 of An American Werewolf. I am Michael Martin, the American Werewolf, and I am the #1 fan of Section 34 Double D. So
there you go.
I'd like to state that for the audience ahead of time.
It's about time somebody stood up for that.
Indeed. In the house tonight, we've got John K. Alvarez. I am a martyr. I do this show for free. Believe it or not, I do this for free as well. And it's my show. It's my fucking show, and I've been doing it for free for I don't know how many years now.
If I was making money off this show and you weren't, you're doing it wrong. That's all I gotta say.
You know. Now I think Tony, Tony D. He made a suggestion the other day in the texting group about covering things a certain way, but you have to chase it. If you're chasing modernity, or this, that, or the other, or current events, you have to keep chasing it. And the problem with me is that, like, I go to movies to enjoy them. Like, I don't go to criticize them.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I do go to the movies quite a bit. Like, I'm going to see Spider-Man on Friday. I'm going to see that. I'm looking forward to that. And then a week late, I'm going to see the Odyssey the day after that. So there's that. I could do some reviews that way, but I don't know. I may just
technically they could call it, if you do that weekend, you could call it Spotacy, like they were doing Barbieheimer.
Barbenheimer. Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, because they're two big blockbuster films that you can compare both and contrast if you wanted to.
It's time consuming.
It is time consuming
to do a video and not fill it with ums and ahs, and then you got to edit it. And then you have to, you have to upload it, and it's just, like, I'd rather just sit here and talk to you about a movie.
Right. Well, that's
fun for me.
Yeah, that's what you're not a gab mouth like I am. I can fill it. I could fill in the space if I had to. My problem is somebody would edit something out. I'm like, oh, I like that line.
The section that I was talking, I was in the group, and I said, there was something that I did like about a year ago or something like that. But what I was doing is I would just bring up an article and put it up on the screen, and then I would read it, and then I would offer some commentary that way. I don't know that you can do movie reviews. That was about WWE current events.
Right.
I think, like Vince McMahon had gotten legal trouble. All right, let's just move on to what we are actually here for tonight. It is July. Can you believe it's almost the end of July? It's the 22nd of July.
I looked at the calendar today and I went, no, that's wrong.
I know.
I was like, that's wrong, man.
Like, it's impossible. Like, I haven't gone to the beach once.
Well, I think that proves you're a true local. Because I've noticed when there's a bunch of people who are locals down here, because I live 5 blocks from the beach, and I haven't been to the beach yet because, of different things. I think a true local will look at the beach, but wait till September when everybody leaves and enjoy the warm water and the warm.
Yeah, that may actually turn out to be the case, but I would like to get down there with the crowd. Well, I like to go down there with the crowds once or twice. I put my beach chair down. I bring my book. I have a blanket, for when I want to, sprawl out and hop in the water and then lay down and work on my tan. And then I park in the same place all the time. Then I go down to Sacco Subs and I get myself a sub to take out. And, and then I take it home and, I can relax. I'll have a couple of beers, that kind of thing. So.
See, now you're making me hungry.
So, nevertheless, we are nearing the end of July, and the director of the month for July is Spike Lee, and that means we're getting into Spike Lee's Inside Man. So, if you're ready to go, shall we get it going?
Let's get it done.
Boogie, woogie. So this is from Wikipedia. Inside Man is a 2006 American crime thriller film directed by Spike Lee and written by Russell Gewirtz.
Mm-hmm.
Gewirtz. It centers on an elaborate bank heist turned hostage situation on Wall Street. The film stars Denzel Washington as Detective Keith Frazier, the NYPD's hostage negotiator, Clive Owen as Dalton Russell, the mastermind who orchestrates the heist, and Jodie Foster as Madeleine White, a Manhattan fixer who becomes involved at the request of the bank's founder, Arthur Case, played by Christopher Plummer, to keep something in his safe deposit box protected from the robbers. Gewirtz spent 5 years developing the premise before working on what became his first original screenplay. After he completed the script in 2002, Imagine Entertainment purchased it to be made by Universal Pictures, with Imagine co-founder Ron Howard attached to direct. After Howard stepped down, his business partner Brian Grazer began looking for a new director and ultimately hired Lee. Principal photography took place on location in New York from June to August 2005. With a $45 to $60 million budget, it is Lee's most expensive film. Inside Man premiered in New York on March 20, 2006, and was released by Universal Pictures across the United States 4 days later. It received generally positive reviews from critics and grossed $184.4 million, becoming Lee's highest grossing film.
Mm-hmm. Now you could stop. We can stop talking right now.
Okay.
Just that alone should get people to watch this movie. Just everything you read should get everybody to watch this movie. The people involved in it.
The story. We're talking about 20 years of Inside Man. 20 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And an almost forgotten genre of film. That is the heist film.
That's right.
They don't make heist films anymore.
They tried to, I think, and they wind up becoming Fast and Furious.
There's that, and then there was that. I don't know if anybody remembers this. That Netflix special, Money Heist or something.
Yeah.
It was Spanish. It was really good. It was good.
Yeah. If you do a good heist film, you're in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a joke. If you can really do a good heist film,
I don't
people
think
made a career out of it.
I don't think anything equals Michael Mann's Heat, but this is a really, really, really good film.
Yes, it is.
It's very much outside of the content that Spike Lee usually covers. I enjoyed the living hell out of it.
Yep.
You said that this is available on Netflix. Okay,
Yep.
so it's currently streaming on Netflix. So,
and I just found out today it's starting to stream on YouTube. If you go to the YouTube film pages.
Oh, is it free?
Yeah, it's free.
Oh,
I
that's
just
nice.
found it today.
That's nice. That's nice. Inside Man is free. I personally have a copy.
Lucky you.
I like it that much.
Lucky you.
Well, we started talking a couple of weeks ago, talking about Spike Lee, and that mixed feelings about. But he is a fantastic, and some of his films I own on physical media.
Yeah.
He is a fantastic filmmaker.
Yes.
Let's start off with you. Initial thoughts. Had you seen this before?
I had seen it when it first came out.
Okay.
And I really liked it. And I saw it between the 20 years. I've caught it in bits and pieces. Like if I see it on, I'm like, oh, I remember this film. And when I watched it again all the way through yesterday, and I don't want to take anything against Spike Lee because I am a Spike Lee fan, but this is a wonderful tribute to New York. The characters, the extras, and everything else. It's a beautiful tribute to the people that make up New York.
Yeah.
But it reminds me, I'm like, wow, if Spike Lee ever did a Martin Scorsese film.
Yeah.
Because it reminded me of some of the angles and stuff like that. You could, I don't know if he did it as an homage, but you could tell it was somebody else did the writing, but Spike made it his. And it worked. It really just works.
It is absolutely a love letter to New York City.
Yep.
In the post 9/11 era, we have to understand this was made only a few years after, less than 5 years after 9/11. It was a very different time then. And the love of New York City and its residents, was a palpable thing, and the love of America for New York City at that time was a palpable thing. I think it's very much a love letter to the NYPD.
Yes.
The police department, who, lost their lives, risked their lives, rushing into those buildings, trying to save people. When the shit really hit the fan, firefighters, although this isn't about firemen, but your first responders, showed up that day, and, it can never be forgotten. Go ahead.
No, it also handled some of the prejudice that was still lingering from September 11th, when, especially not so much even, there's that great scene between Denzel Washington and the sergeant when the sergeant started to get ready to make comments, and he stopped and he said, "Look, I'm sorry, I'd rather be an old racist than somebody shot in the chest."
Yeah, then he yelled, idealist.
And I went, all right, I'll give you that. But it's, and I think, I don't know if that was in the script or if Spike Lee added it to the script, but it was even when the cops were being confrontational with each other, it was still a tribute to them.
Yeah.
And it was also a good chess game.
Oh yeah.
It was that good chess game type of mystery that when you're watching, I remember a couple times I went, "Oh man, that was a good move."
Yeah. Yeah. You've got a fantastic cast. You've got Denzel Washington as the head detective.
Yes.
You've got the head hostage negotiator. You've got Clive Owen as the head bank robber. You've got Jodie Foster, who is just this sort of person who moves, but she's a fixer. She's just moving and shaking and making deals everywhere. You've got Willem Dafoe as the
SWAT guy,
SWAT commander,
SWAT captain. Yeah.
Just got this great ensemble cast, and
even Mitchell is the British actor whose name I can never pronounce. Chitafor.
Oh yeah, I can never pronounce his name.
But he was great. As intense as Denzel Washington was, he was a good sidekick.
Yeah.
To bring him back. And it was just, even what's his name? Wait, I wrote it down because I really was impressed with him. Christopher Plummer.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
As old as he was literally walking through scenes.
Oh yeah.
And
it
was perfect. The scene where he was talking to Denzel in the SWAT van, and Denzel gives him a look.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that was, it built the tension, and you were going, it kept you right into it. It was and it was good actors that did it.
I personally think that Christopher Plummer stole every scene.
Yeah.
If he was interacting with Denzel, I give it to Plummer. If he was interacting with Jodie Foster, I give it to Plummer. He's just fantastic, and he makes it look easy.
Yes.
He makes it look very casual and very easy when he goes in that ESU van and he's like, "Do you want me to arrange a jet?"
Yeah. Just the way he said it.
Yeah. And then he just stops. He's not doing anything. He has very limited lines.
It's funny, when I was teaching in college acting, I used to tell people I hate watching acting on stage. I want to see people being themselves, and it's funny because I'm now seeing these famous actors saying the same thing. "Oh yeah, if you act, you're in trouble." Christopher Plummer doesn't act. He's at that point that it's so, I don't want to say easy, but it's so much like, all right, I know exactly the character I have to be, and it works.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. The scene with him and Jodie Foster walking by the river, and they're just talking. The scene where they were at the end of the movie when
in the barbershop.
Yeah, in the barbershop. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
And let's give a little more extra credit to Jodie Foster.
Oh yeah.
This performance in this movie, I've always liked Jodie Foster. I've always been a fan of Jodie Foster. But in this movie, I'm going, oh my God, she's like Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction, just a little more well-dressed.
Yeah.
That smoothness of, when the one guy from the barber is going in and he said, "Ma'am, you're not supposed to be in there." And she's like, "Yeah, I have a reservation." Just dismiss and boom. But it's never angry. It's this brilliant, if this was a chess game between Denzel Washington and Clive Owen, she's the perfect observer.
Yeah.
You know, she's like judging it in it.
Yeah,
There were some performances in it that were fantastic.
She kind of outranks everybody.
Yeah.
Like that initial interaction with the mayor.
Yeah.
She's got something on the mayor. She's forcing her way into that situation to, start, wheeling and dealing. And he just goes, "You're a magnificent. See you next Tuesday." And it's just, she's like, "Thank you." Okay.
And the thing about it was she didn't get insulted. She kind of went, yeah.
Yeah. She's like,
yes, I am. I am well aware who I am.
That's high praise.
So
it says the film operates on multiple levels, a clever cat and mouse heist story with perfect planning, twists, and a sharper critique of power, morality, and society. The story exposes how the ultra wealthy, like Case, played by Christopher Plummer, evade accountability through influence peddlers like Jodie Foster. Everyone from cops seeking promotions to fixers and billionaires compromises ethics for personal gain. The perfect crime ultimately targets not just money, but hidden historical sins, showing how evil deeds eventually surface. So what you have, and we're just going to get the spoilers because it's 20 years old, you have a robbery that isn't about stealing money.
Yeah.
They want something very specific. In this case, certain documents that demonstrate that Christopher Plummer dealt with the Nazis when Paris was getting sacked and enriched himself. It's blood money. Everything that everything that he's done and everything that he's built is built on this blood money and these deaths.
Exactly.
And the Holocaust. And it's funny to watch Plummer's interpretation of this because he never really bothers to deny it.
No.
He says, "I did this. I've been trying, I sold my soul 60 years ago, and I've been trying to buy it back
ever since. Yeah.
Yeah, and the only thing that he won't do, which probably would give him his soul back, is to confess.
Yeah. If he came out and said it, this is how I started my business.
Yeah. Now, again, whether that involves, which it starts to, as we get towards the end of the movie, it may involve war crimes tribulations, war crimes charges, that kind of war profiteering. You don't know, but he would probably get his soul back. He has to pay his debt. He's trying instead to just kind of buy his debt back.
Yeah,
it doesn't work that way, and it's funny because Plummer's character, like many of the best villains, he's not 100% a villain. Would you agree with that? He almost seems like a decent man. He's done something terrible and he can't get out from under it. And
when the secretary came in and told him that the bank was being robbed, the first thing he said was, "Anyone hurt?"
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like, "Oh my God, where is it? The money?" None of that was a concern of his.
Yeah.
He knows how he got wealthy.
Yeah.
And he knows it wasn't the right path.
Right.
Type deal. It's like the old cliche or the old line, in every story, the villain doesn't think he's the villain or she's the villain.
But this is interesting because he realizes that he is the villain.
Yeah, right now he does.
Yeah.
In this, the way it's portrayed, and it's not like a big crushing moment or a big, it's just like, oh, by the way, tap, tap, tap. Yeah, you are.
It's very matter of fact. It's
very
matter of fact that he did this thing. It's been 60 years. What am I going to do now? I've been involved in every charity conceivable. I try to help everybody. My reputation, speaks for itself. But this is how it got started. And he tells that story, I think, to Jodie Foster that, there were friends that he could have helped. And he didn't, because the Nazis paid too well.
The Nazis paid too well.
Yeah, they paid.
For a lot of people, from what I can gather, from what I have read and heard people speak about, that was not as uncommon as some people thought.
Yeah.
You know, for some that they actually, you know,
they went for the money.
They went for the money, and
Yeah.
they went to save their life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because it's not excusing what he did.
Yeah.
But it could be like take the money or take a bullet.
Right.
It could very easily be one of those situations. He is a detestable character. At least I didn't find him. I found him to be a sympathetic character. He did a horrible thing,
right?
And let his friends die.
Right.
But he's an interesting character, and it's extremely well played.
That key with him with the ring. There's one of the things besides the paperwork.
Yeah.
There's a ring, and he said it was from the wife of a friend of his.
Yeah.
And he kept it because he was guilty. Because he said he could have saved them too, and he basically watched them get taken away.
Yeah.
And I kept her ring. Yeah. I mean, it's an interesting character because yes, he's the villain, and he's trying to wipe the slate clean, but there's so many other little villains in this whole movie as well.
Yeah, everybody, like the mayor's compromise. Obviously, right. Jodie Foster's character is not an admirable character.
No, she's not.
She's trying to. When you first meet her, she is trying to get Bin Laden's nephew an apartment,
right,
in New York City, 5 years after 9/11,
and tells the mayor, "We're putting your name down as a reference."
It was Plummer. It was Plummer. Yeah, Plummer. Yeah.
I'm putting your name down as a reference.
As a reference.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay.
But she knew exactly who she was and wasn't denying it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is everybody is exactly who they say they are. Denzel Washington, I'm making First Detective. Everybody's getting theirs. I'm going to get mine. And it's just this whole group of compromised people who happen to converge around this one event.
When Clive Owen starts it off saying, "I'm not what you think."
Yeah.
When he's looking in the camera in the very beginning, "I'm not what you think. I'm this type of person," and he says, "I'm not a martyr."
Right.
I'm not a martyr. And to begin the movie, and they end it with him doing that same speech, and you find out exactly who he is.
Yeah.
But even him, he doesn't seem what he seems. I mean, he sets up this elaborate thing. He beats the hell out of a guy who's keeping a cell phone hidden after he collects them all. But he sees the kid who hands him the game and keep it. And then talks to him and sees the kids playing a violent game. And he's kind of appalled at the violence, even though he puts the grenade in the gangster's mouth in the game to have him blow up. He's like, "You play this?" And he goes, "Come on, man, my buddy."
Yeah,
it's from the neighborhood I'm in, and I'm going, and it's you're expecting him to be this, and he is the villain. Clive Owen is the villain, but is
he?
That's the point. He is robbing the bank.
He's robbing.
And he's doing it for a different thing, but he walks up and he gives the kid the pizza.
Yeah.
When he's hungry, and he gives him his soda, and he makes sure the kid's okay. He's away from all the action.
I think Clive Owen is as close to the hero in this film as there is one. He's trying to right a 60-year-old wrong.
Right.
These are Jews from that for generationally have been trying to get to the bottom of this awful thing that happened. They tracked this guy down. They put it known, who he is and what he did. It's not right that he has built this empire on their blood. That's why they're doing it. He doesn't steal any money.
Yeah, he takes the diamonds.
Did he? He took a couple.
No, that's the point. No, the point about it was that's why he says at the end, he goes, "I'm not a martyr. I did it for the money." He had the bag full of diamonds that he could have made some money off of with the other conspirators.
That's another thing too. Are those
they're blood diamonds?
Yeah, they're blood diamonds. I don't think he took them. I don't know if he took them for money or for like these, like those are what's the word? Like they're heirlooms.
Yeah. It
You know?
was you're looking at a variation of Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty, but they're not exactly like those characters.
Yeah.
Denzel being the detective, is he perfect? No, but he's still the detective.
Right. He's
You know,
he's law and order.
you know, and Clive Owens might not be completely, but he's playing the part
He's the bank robber.
that he has to play. He has to play that part.
Right.
They both understand in a black and white world they're swimming in the gray.
Right.
They both know that Clive Owens knows if he gets caught, he's going to jail. But as he's saying, I'm not getting caught.
Right.
And he's doing the right thing. And the last thing he does, not to jump to the end, but he entrusts Denzel Washington to do the right thing.
Right.
You know, he gives it to him. You're the cop. Go get him.
Right. Yeah.
You
the
know,
light we're going to shine the light of a day on this because that's what needs to happen.
Right.
That's what needs to happen, and it's the one thing Christopher Plummer did not have the the nerve to do, or the spine to do, or the courage to do. You can't buy your way back into into that sort of thing.
When him and Christopher Plummer, Denzel and Christopher Plummer points to all the people, those photographs he has on his desk and the wall behind him, and it's Margaret Thatcher and all. They'll vouch for my goodness.
Right.
And when he holds up the ring, strategically placed on his middle finger, which is so Spike Lee, when he holds it up and goes, will they vouch for you when they find out about this?
Right.
And it's amazing because he knows it'll all crumble.
Right.
And Christopher Plummer character knows the same thing.
Right. It's over.
It's over. He goes, once I find out who it is, it's over.
Yeah, he's finally caught.
And it's amazing. This was such a well done, and I'm sorry to jump to the end a little bit, but because it's so well done because you don't know what's going on. The way they think they have something, and it's all of a sudden it's another play.
You think it's a heist, and it's not. Nobody's stealing any money.
When Denzel Washington turned around and goes, he doesn't want a plane.
Right.
I'm sure he saw Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah, nobody gets one. Willem Dafoe says that. He goes, these morons, nobody gets a plane. They have to, like in today, like post 9/11 in New York, we're going to give you a plane. Okay, that's not going to happen.
And the first thing Christopher Plummer says, do they need a plane? I mean, but do you guys need a plane? And I'm going, and that's why Denzel Washington looked at him because he was like, why are you helping them? I mean, it was ingenious. Him and Dafoe had a lovely going banter back and forth type deal.
Denzel and yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and the way they played. Everybody really wasn't exactly who they were. Like William Dafoe's character, the captain of the SWAT team, he was exactly who he was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When Denzel came in, he goes, I don't give a shit. I'm working for this guy. You go, well, that guy's not here. It's me.
Yeah.
And the minute he saw it, he went, okay. And he knew, all right, you're in charge. Go right ahead.
I apologize. He's like, I'm sorry about the way I came off about that before. He's like, don't worry about it.
And it was. They both said, but that's, I mean, the person who did the miking from the cops, her attitude. I mean, everybody had one of these things, and I was going to bring it up for towards the end of the movie. One of these things that really admired me is all the minor characters, even with what little time they had.
Oh, yeah, the construction worker with the Albanian ex-wife.
Oh my God, he was funnier than hell.
That was great.
And then when she came in with the whole bag of tickets, can you fix these?
Yeah.
And the minute she knew what they were talking about, he said, "It's done. Go.
Yeah.
Tell me." I mean, this was a very good detective, like we said before, a chess game, and they were trying to,
those two characters in there.
Yeah.
For like less than 5 minutes between the two of them.
And again, they were so New York.
Yeah.
If you listen to them, they were so. The guy's going, "Come on, step in." Oh man, am I in trouble?
Yeah.
And Denzel was like, "No, you're helping. Get in."
Yeah. But I don't want to have to call her. Down here. This that. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic.
There's so many of those minor, and that's what made it. If any of them were weak, like we were talking about the little boy, the scenes he has with Clive Owens, and then the scene he has with Denzel Washington and the other detective, Chittifer, whose name I can't pronounce, but and he was with his father, and the way he started acting tough, and his father says, "Hey, show respect."
Yeah,
and he did. He calmed down and started. But it was that kid. If it was anybody who had less talent, wouldn't work.
right.
It would come across like we've talked about them trying to be too cute or them trying to be. He was playing his part so damn well.
There's a feature in this Blu-ray, and basically this film is his love letter to Sidney Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah,
which
that's right, man.
You can see that. You can see that in this. But the thing of it is that, and I remember watching it. I think we talked about this before. Spike Lee said he had to be very selective with choosing actors because Denzel, if you let him, will just run you over.
Right.
So he had to specifically pick people who were just like that wasn't going to happen.
Right.
And he did a fantastic job with this cast. Fantastic job. Everybody just holding their water. Everybody
holding their own.
Yeah. Hold on. It looks here. It's post-9 for themes. I was post 9/11 tensions and xenophobia set in New York, still raw from 9/11. The film highlights police and civilian suspicion of quote-unquote others. Standout scene involves a Sikh hostage named Victor. It's identified as Arab Muslim, with ad-lib dialogue underscoring insensitivity and racial profiling. I don't know that I agree with that, but it was one of the themes in the film. And I remember that was prominent 20 years ago, where a lot of brown-skinned people said that they were being profiled. Lee uses this to comment on heightened paranoia and casual prejudice without making it the film's sole focus. Thank God.
Yeah, and it was funny because the minute like Denzel apologized to the character and he truly meant it, he started cooperating.
Yeah.
He was insulted by the way he was treated.
He also calls him on it. I bet you get a cab, right?
Yeah.
He's like,
I know exactly. He called, but then he apologized to him, going, "Okay, let's, and the scenes where they were interviewing the people, and it was funny because you saw all the other minor characters,
like the old lady
interviewed, but no, not just that, minor characters in the plot, or in a heist. Because all right, what the heck? It's 20 years old. They can get over it. Spoiler alert. They all dressed up in painter's clothes or black, and they hit everybody, and that's how they got away, or, at least, got out of the bank. And it was funny because you saw like two different types of people, and then you realize, oh my God, one half of them were the villains. They were the bank robbers. You had the old lady that was Denzel was joking with, saying, "Are you one of the criminals?" And she starts laughing and everything else. But then you had the other guy, the Jewish jeweler, who was saying, "Go ahead, buy the," and he's in the backseat of the car. He's with them.
He was with them the whole time.
It was the way, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so brilliant the way they worked them in. And the two women who had, as you put it, the fan of the Section 34D club, Double D club. But there were two of them, and one was saying, "You want to take a picture? You want me to bend over and pick up a pencil?" And it was, and the way they both acted, but then you saw them later on. I was like, oh my God, this was so well written, well done, well performed.
The interesting thing about this and the crew of robbers is that they're bonded around a loyalty that they aren't going to break.
Right.
It's not about money. It's a blood debt.
Right.
And so they're not going to, they weren't going to flake. No one's going to flake. No one's going to frazzle. No one's going to flip.
Somebody else. Yeah.
They were determined from the very beginning that this is what was going to happen, and they did a fantastic job. Lee interjects commentary on capitalism's dark underbelly, cases fortune ties to Nazi collaboration during World War II, symbolizing how American wealth often rests on exploitation and unpunished historical crimes. Racial dynamics appear in subtle ways. Frazier's character, police interactions, reminding viewers of Lee's lens, even in a polished genre piece. Video games, where the young black boy critiques violence in media and gang culture. No one is purely heroic or villainous. Robbers become unlikely avengers. Cops bend rules, and the ending blurs lines of right and wrong. It raises questions about whether the system protects the powerful or allows any real justice, because it does end on an ambiguous note.
Right.
And we see that Christopher Plummer's character might face some embarrassment.
Right.
But is he really going to, are they going to go all the way with that? It ends, on a cautious note. Maybe it's a maybe.
Yeah. When Denzel meets the mayor and Jodie Foster's character at the end, and he does a variation of the quote she says and gives her the card saying it's where the Holocaust thing is. I loved that because he knew where he had to go with it and let them know, and showed the ring and let them know that he has more than he's letting on. And she was like, okay, you got me, I'll do the right. It was ambiguous because when she said, do you want your name in the paper? And she goes, yeah, make sure you spell it right. I mean, I love that. But then at the very end, when he's with his girlfriend and he finds the diamond,
he pockets it,
that Clive Owens puts, and he's, because, all right, the question is, what are you going to do with it, buddy?
Oh, he's going to pocket it.
Yeah. Are you going to pocket it, or, know?
Yeah. He's giving that to his girlfriend. Yeah, that's going to be the engagement ring, which was the purpose of Clive Owens putting it in his pocket, because they have that conversation. Negotiation, and he can't afford to get married.
Oh my God, the conversations between Denzel Washington and Clive Owens.
Yeah.
On the phone or in person.
Yeah.
That scene where he takes him down the stairs.
Yeah.
Head first. And everything else. As Denzel Washington said, I had to find out, he didn't shoot me. I gave him every opportunity.
Right.
He's not a killer. And the scene that happens after that.
Right.
It's amazing.
I love that shot of Denzel. Like, that's a standard set Spike Lee shot on the trolley.
Yeah.
You get to just sort of moving forward. I love that shot.
Yeah, so did I. I mean,
different shots. Yeah.
This movie went from one good scene to the next good scene to the next good scene. And I'm like, man, and it's an acting class.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I've said that before on this show, but even and I'll go back to it. The supporting cast of the minor characters, they were filling it. Even the guy who was the guard, in the beginning and throughout the movie, and at the end was having a breakdown because, why are you questioning me? I'm the security guard. I mean, there was so much emotional intent and commitment to playing these parts. It worked.
I don't think you likely take on a Spike Lee movie.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, I don't think anyone lightly takes on a Spike Lee movie.
No.
So if you're agreeing to be directed by Spike Lee, it's a serious thing. It's going to be a good thing. It's not some throwaway thing. And I don't think any of these actors do anything in terms of just like a throwaway performance. None of these people phone it in.
Exactly. And it's, Spike Lee doesn't direct E.T.
No.
Type deal. I mean, the stuff that he does has some weight to it. Though there were funny moments in this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When the two detectives were walking out after talking to Christopher Plummer, and he said, let me see your shoes, because I've never seen somebody put their foot so far up somebody's ass. Yeah. I laughed out loud at that. I mean, but and it was funny because I don't think Denzel was expecting that, because he started laughing. I mean,
it could have been improvised.
Yeah, but it was just the way it happened. I mean, even Jodie Foster, when she was making some side comment every now and then, part of me chuckled. And I know she's not the nicest person in the world.
Right.
William Dafoe was you're showing him now. He was brilliant in this movie, in the scenes that he was in. But then he's William Dafoe. He's usually everybody brought their A game, and I don't think this movie gets a lot of credit.
No, no, it's very. It's not one of the more well-known Spike Lee films. It certainly is not the usual sort of subject matter that he covers. You know, when he does a film, he never
Mm-hmm.
does a straight, heist film or a horror film or something. It's
Yeah.
usually about race. Um, and so I think that's one of the reasons why, because people do recognize that he is a fantastic director, but you may not be always up for the subject matter,
Mm-hmm.
which sometimes can feel like a drubbing, even with a fantastic film. But here, he's got something that like is sort of has a universal, like a heist film has universal
Yeah.
appeal. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
wants to see a good cops and robbers movie. And
And
he gives it to you.
and being in a city like New York City, where everybody from all type of backgrounds are there. I mean, when the opening scene, just going through the bank, is Clive Owens
Oh yeah,
dressed as a painter, setting up the lights to take out the camera, listening to that dialogue, the girl on the phone.
yeah. The Asian guy in front of her, rubbernecking,
Yeah.
and look at her.
Yeah. I mean, it was normal. I mean, it was something in a New York bank.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my funniest scenes was when the bank robber was taking that same girl who was on the phone, and he
Calls her
said,
boobs.
"Yeah," and he
Oh,
calls her. It's something he goes talking about the size of her butt. And, excuse me. There was very much of a. That's why I also say it's a very lovely tribute to New York, because a lot of the responses were very New York.
I think you had a lot of, especially when it came to the hostages, you had a lot of local casting.
Mm-hmm.
You had local casting.
And
those
they
were
knew what they were doing, man.
be yourself.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do.
The only other person who does New York as well as Spike Lee, but on a different level or a different genre, was a Woody Allen. The way he approaches New York at times. He approaches it more with humor. Spike approaches it more with a serious eye. So does Scorsese. They know how to capture that New York feel.
It says Gewirtz spent years on the script. Imagine Entertainment brought it after a bidding war, initially with Howard, again, Ron Howard, attached to it. Howard stepped away for Cinderella Man, and Lee came on reading the script and expressing interest during a meeting with Grazer. Denzel's tight schedule post-Broadway Julius Caesar forced a fast production timeline. Lee reunited with Washington, their fourth collaboration. Washington chose Frazier over Russell due to the heavy disguise. Owen nearly passed over the mask hood, limiting facial expressions. And Lee convinced him partly by taking him to a Knicks game. Foster wanted a glamorous supporting role and had long wanted to work with Lee. Her Yale connection via Lee's brother helped. Plummer and Defoe brought gravitas. Ejiofor, the supporting detective, returned after a small role in Lee's She Hate Me. Lee allowed improvisation, especially in hostage interrogation scenes. Filmed on location in New York, included a real Wall Street bank that became a godsend for authenticity and crowd shots. Production designer Wynn Thomas created detailed sets. Cinematographer Matthew Libatique used Lee's trademark dolly shots, varied film stock for timelines, and techniques reflecting characters' mindsets. Terrence Blanchard scored it. I love the score in this.
Yes, I do.
That jazzy sort of thing going on. It was, Even in the studio-friendly package, it's unmistakably a Spike Lee joint with fourth wall breaks, social jabs, and moral lettering. Homage 1970s heists and inserted commentary on NYPD insensitivity and video game violence. I mean, it's cited as one of his most rewatchable films for its clever plotting and subtle depth.
And what you just read, and I was actually going to bring that up, the setting, the bank itself, was fantastic.
Yeah.
It gave it a gray look on the outside, so you didn't, and when you came in, like they said, when the SWAT people were going through the schematics, they said, how is it like? And they're going, it's horrible. You got to come in, you go through the only way in through the front door, you got to go up the steps, you're going to be in an open. I mean, just the way it was open, yet felt claustrophobic when it needed to be. I mean, everything about this movie worked. It clicked.
Yeah.
And the music is phenomenal. and the side comments are phenomenal.
If you can get him to make films that just always about race, he would be one of my favorite directors.
Mm-hmm.
And even the ones that are about race are good films. It's just,
Right.
like I said, you're kind of taking a drubbing, watching them, and so it's kind of a turn off as well. Like, I'd like to cover Malcolm X.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch. It's not fun at all. I mean, it's 3 hours of just
yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
And it's it's like
It's perfect.
one of my favorite Spike Lee movies, which I also think is very underrated, is He Got Game.
Oh yeah, that's another.
I think just and as much as the social commentary is there, it's also a brilliant story about a father trying to make up to the son because he knew the mistake.
Yeah.
And it's wonderfully put together. And I think when it comes to Spike, I like a lot of his, like I'm talking like we know each other, but like I like a lot of his angles and the way he tells the story. Yes, it's not something I'm going to take out for light fare. When I watch a Spike Lee movie, I'm expecting that seriousness or serious tone. I think that's one of the reasons why I like this so much, because there was so many humorous moments in it.
Yeah. And you need that. You need that.
And it was great because it set up, because then the tension got set up for the heist, the chess game. This was like a chess game that was very intense. These were two masters.
Yeah. And
Spike Lee knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And it's funny, as much as I like Ron Howard as a director,
it wouldn't have been. No.
It would have been the same. And I think I'm kind of glad that Spike did this, because I think it really kept me focused on it.
And I also love Cinderella Man.
Oh yeah, great movie.
I love to watch that on Thanksgiving. It's one of my go-to Thanksgiving movies.
It's also like Ransom that Ron Howard did, which was very intense and almost similar with like that pressure.
Yeah.
But like I think it would take somebody like Spike Lee to do something like this, because it was very, again, New York.
Well, I hate to say that and make it sound cliche. It's got more soul.
Yeah, you're right.
It's got more soul.
Yeah.
Very plainly. All right. Is there anything about this film that you would like to discuss that we have not covered?
The only thing to me that I keep bringing it up, it's not so much about this film. I would have loved to see not a sequel to this film. Like, I don't want Denzel to chase after Clive Owen,
right,
but that character of Denzel Washington, of that cop.
Oh, like another, like a detective series.
Frazier. Yeah, do another detective story, another type mystery.
Yeah,
I would have loved, and I would love to see Spike Lee handle it.
Sure.
Like Jodie Foster's character gets in trouble. And Denzel Washington is actually part of it and doesn't trust her, but sees something because he's a detective.
That would be fun.
That's the only thing, especially I don't want to say it was right after September 11th, because I feel like that's too much referred to in his commentary. But I think a lot of people see that, I don't want to do a sequel to it because it reminds me too much of September 11th. That was in the atmosphere, but that wasn't the story.
Right.
And I think the way these, the chess game moves, the Knives Out series that Daniel Craig does are similar to that. You have this smart detective who figures it out. I keep making a reference to Sherlock Holmes, just a little more on the dark side. But I would have loved to have seen that. I would love to see Denzel trying to crack a serial killer or someone to that effect, but using that character. It would have been a really interesting look, and it's a shame because I don't think it's ever going to be done.
No, it took this guy 5 years to write this script.
And it shows.
Yeah, it shows.
There's so much nuances in this.
This is like over 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And there's no fat on this story.
No, not at all.
No,
the nuances work. The subtleties work.
Everything is in there for a purpose.
Yeah.
Everything is in there for a purpose.
And if anybody who may see this, if they're a student of the technical aspects, there was a lot of subtle moments that were shown in here that when you watch it, an eye look, a glance, things. I mean, Denzel, like I mentioned, was when Christopher Plummer said about, "Do you want me to get you a plane?" And Denzel, the look that he gives,
Everybody just stopped. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like Denzel was like trying to figure, why in the world did you say that? And he went, "No, it's okay." But it was just
initially, it just goes to show the disconnect.
Yeah.
How much further up the food chain Christopher Plummer actually starts out at.
To me, I took it also as Denzel was thinking, why are you trying to get them out of here? What are you hiding?
Okay.
And I think it's too many to hanging out with too many cops for my brother. He gives that eye almost like I was waiting for him to cut. I swear to God, if he had a cigar and started doing Columbo, I wouldn't have complained. Because it reminds me of that, like he caught something. And I'm like, I'm going to file that away for a minute. It's stuff like that, and it just works. It really does just work.
All right, let's get to the part in the stream where we rate the film. This channel has a rating system that goes from 0 to 5 up by halves. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, all the way to 5. So 0, for example, would be I'd rather have a booger hanging out of my nose during a job interview, all the way to 5, which is that this is the journey, this is the destination, this is why we watch films in the first place. John K. Alvarez, The Martyr. What would you give Spike Lee's Inside Man?
I was debating on the score on this. This is one of the movies I was debating. Because I really liked it. I'm going this, and I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Okay.
I was thinking about going, and I know if I watch it again, I'll probably give it a 5. If you ever do a show where we want to rewrite films, this might be one of them, because I keep thinking, screw it, I'm giving it a 5.
You're a 5.
Okay. Because I like movies like this, the chess game.
Okay.
I've written too many Sherlock Holmes plays for people where I've taken, and I like that, it's that movement, that style of trying to figure out what they're doing. Okay. And Spike Lee did a great job with it.
All right. I'm going to go with a 4. I think this is a really, really, really solid piece of entertainment. I think it, like I said at the beginning, on a lost genre of film, the heist film. I don't know that it starts to creep into the cinema aspect of things. Maybe, but I think it's just a solid piece of entertainment. And I own a copy. I mean, I've got it on Blu-ray.
Yep.
So, it's no problem for me to pop it in at any time and watch it, but I'm going to give it a 4. I'll go with it. So, all's good that way. All right, John K. Alvarez, anything to plug?
I do, and I'm sorry I couldn't send you. No, I had the thing to send you to like a good print, but the problem is it's on my phone, and all of a sudden my phone decided to start acting up, and I'm like, damn it. But this weekend at Cold Spring Village, where I'm working, we're doing those hand-on history weekends again. But I'm only bringing up Cold Spring Village besides talking about hands-on history this weekend, 11 to 4, this Saturday and Sunday. I'll teach you how to do cursive writing with a quill and ink, because I'm working the schoolhouse, and that's what I'm showing people how to do.
Okay.
But everybody who does specific things, like the blacksmith, the potterer, they're showing people how to do stuff and having them get involved. You get them to do it. It's a type deal. It's one of the few ways to explain history that seems to work with people. But one of the things I was doing, I was asked by the owners of the village if I can come up with a fundraiser for them. Because being nonprofit type deal, sometimes money starts running a little short. Next month, and I'll give you more information on this next week, some guy about 25 years ago, which actually got me involved with working at the village back in 1990. I'm sorry, 36 years ago. He wrote these scripts that were done and performed like live action in the village. Somewhere in the heart of New Jersey Public Television, there's a videotape of me, 25 years old, performing for them because they did a night of showing. We got a hold of those scripts again, and we're setting them up to do a night, calling it the Village Life, doing all 4 of them in one shot because they're only about 15, 20 minutes long. I'm writing the inner inner scenes dialogue, being like a narrator-esque effect. And we're doing it to raise money on the village. And we're working it that you're going to get dinner and a show because they have a farm-to-table restaurant there, which happens to have a stage up on the second floor in an old building. So we're actually going to perform this thing to raise money for the theater. For the village. I'm so used to saying theater because we have to raise money. But the point about it is they're really good scripts, and it's funny because I'm getting some of the people in the village who used to be actors, some of the older ones saying, "Come on, dust off your theater robes. Let's go and see if we can do this and raise some money." So when I get more information on that, which hopefully will be next week, I'll give it all to you because I would like to put it out there if anybody's interested. Because I'm going to try to see if I can get it record it and put it on YouTube.
I don't see. Yeah, I think that would be great.
Like trying to raise money for people. If anybody saw me on my YouTube channel or my YouTube page, I should say, and on TikTok and Instagram, I did the thing dressed as Santa Claus doing "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus" type deal. They're trying to get those people to actually record it, and then we can put it out as an event.
Okay, that sounds actually really cool. All right, so if there's a flyer,
I'll let you know as fast as I can.
Or something, and I'll put it up on the screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
What are you doing, Michael?
Not much. For this weekend, I'll probably go see Spider-Man, and then I'm going to see, I think, The Odyssey. So it'll be a couple of movies over the weekend. Next
Spider
week,
Seed.
Yeah, Spider Seed.
I love that, though. I think that's great. I'm glad they're two blockbusters and you're enjoying them in a movie theater, which I think is fantastic.
If you're going to see, if you see either of those, they should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the channel, we have one more week of July if we wanted to squeeze in another Spike Lee movie.
I would love to.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any mentions?
I was thinking of Malcolm X, but I don't know if anybody wants to undertake that.
If you were going to do it, I would do it, but it's not going to be an hour.
No. Well,
mean, if we discuss this, it's going to be. It's because there was. I love that movie again.
Yeah, I think it's another one that's free on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another one that I have on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But after this one, I may never watch it again in my lifetime because it's just.
It's intense.
It's tough. It's very intense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's look at Malcolm X for next week.
Works for me, man.
All right, buddy. All right, my thanks to John K. Alvarez, the Martyr, doing all this for free.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, always. 311 shows. Who knew?
And counting.
Indeed. We will see you all in the next video. All right, take care, everyone.